Hey everybody, welcome back. Patrick Barrett, creator of Driver Ed in a Box, of course, and your favorite driver education guru. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about anxiety. Okay, the anxious feelings that people have when they start to drive and how scared they get or afraid to do things. And this is very common. So if you have a young driver or a new driver that just has that anxious feeling, it's okay. Look, it's normal. In fact, it's kind of good that they have a little anxiety. If they didn't have any fear at all, that's even actually a greater problem. When I started to begin to teach people in 1974, I wasn't teaching kids, I was teaching adults, mostly women, ages 45 to 75. I mean, you talk about people that were scared and had tried to learn when they were a young person and got something happened to them. They either experienced something or they saw something, got so frightened that they would never do this again. I mean, you're dealing mostly with anxiety and helping them get over the fear then. So I understand how that works. Now, when you're with a new driver, your son or your daughter, let's say, and they're demonstrating this anxiousness about it, and it's really going to be manifested in a lot of ways, one of which they'll be having a tight grip on the wheel. So frequently remind them to have a lighter grip. One thing that I always would do when I would be teaching, in fact, I still do this today with people even after they've been driving for a while, is get them to take a deep breath. It's that simple. It really is. You just breathe in deeply and exhale it all out. You do that a couple times and your body naturally releases some of that tension. And then it's going to build up again, and then you have to remind them, hey, let's go ahead and take a breath again. And they'll go like, but I am breathing, and it's kind of like, yeah, but you're barely breathing, okay, So let's take a deep breath. It's amazing how powerful this is. I mean, I've been using this for decades to tell people to do that, and we suggest that in our program, but I forget how many people forget those little details, and that's a really important thing. So even if you have them do that at the beginning and they let it go, what's going to happen a couple minutes later as they're going, that tension's going to be there again, so take another one. It's okay. Take a break and do that. In fact, sometimes after you've been working in the vehicle, they're a little tense and they think they're getting it, but they might not. Stop, get out, and do a demonstration. Have them walk around to see where the turning point is, the recovery point is, identify the pivot point, the forward and the rear one in the vehicle. They can do that from the outside and also practice a pre-drive check before they get in. Why? Just to get out and move around. It's good to do that to break up the sensations that they have of tension that builds up when they're in the vehicle. So remember, if you have that anxiety issue, and you're going to see that among a lot of folks, take a deep breath. Same applies to you as an instructor. Yeah. You might need to take a few of those too. Okay, so remember, practice like your life depends on it, because it does. If you need any additional resources, any assistance at all, go to www.driveredinabox.com and get any of the resources that we have that we can help someone become a collision-free driver. And hey, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Maybe we can help you save a life. This is Patrick Barrett saying bye now.